Hey kids, you're listening to the internet's wettest podcast about video games, consoles, and pancakes. The SML Podcast. Prepare for the SML Podcast.
What's up, everybody? This is the SML Podcast. I am your host, Joe. We have a fun show lined up. Aki's here, Bree's here, Jacob's here, and Andy Sperry's here, too. How's everybody doing?
Hey.
Doing great.
Woo.
I'm alive.
I'm also alive.
Yes, fellow humans.
I am alive, but injured. I fucked up my ankle today.
Oh, no.
How'd you do that?
Our smoke alarm started going off because apparently someone blew smoke in the house. I don't know who would smoke in this house, but, you know, things happen. And I went to try hitting the button to silence it, and I couldn't reach it, so I jumped and hit it, but Ashley was kind of in the way, so I landed sideways on my ankle.
Oh, no.
And that's like 350 pounds going on an ankle.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, it hurts like a motherfucker.
Yeah. Fuck.
Tough.
Oh, man. How was everyone else's day?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
What'd you do today, Bree?
I ran some errands. I did responsible things, and then I cooked.
Ooh, responsibility.
I know.
Ooh,
and
what'd
then
you
I
cook?
cooked dinner. So I'm on a new medication, and they're all like, eat protein, eat protein, eat protein, and like, eat
Oh yeah,
nothing
shit!
else.
I have to take my meds.
So yeah, I have these really thick pork chops that were in my freezer that needed to get eaten, and
Hell yeah, pork chops.
I cooked them up in the frying pan, and I just ate 2 pork chops. I don't know. That was my dinner.
Nice.
I had sheets again for dinner. That's all we
Nice.
ever eat.
I had a bunch of chocolate pretzels a little bit ago.
Ooh.
That was pretty cool.
That sounds good.
How was the rest of your day, Andy? What'd you do today?
You know, work has been picking up, so I spent the day. Excuse me. Oh my gosh, I'm already failing. Under a floor. I do tile work, and so we had to do.
Thought you were
like, a
hiding
curbless
bodies.
shower. Well, I mean that too. You know, I pulled a couple of bodies out of there too, so it was a little give and take. But we're dropping a floor, so we can do a integrated floor system. You know, curbless, and it just takes forever. So cutting a lot of wood and screwing it in, and cutting other things too. You know, and cleaning up the floor and dealing with sheetrock and insulation and stuff. It was
Screwing
a very
wood.
hot,
Hell yeah.
itchy day. Yeah, that was pretty much it.
Jacob, how was your day?
Screwing wood.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
What? Yeah is not an answer to how was your day.
It's very
I don't-
yay-ful.
I don't know, man. Like, I got up, I went to work. I work 10-hour shifts, so it takes up like a bulk of my day. Like, my lunchtime nap with my dog is never long enough. And yeah, now I'm here. So
10 hours a day is how long you shit post on Facebook.
sometimes I play solitaire.
Gotcha.
Yeah, makes sense.
Solitaire's tight.
Yeah, tweet.
Oi.
You know, also, played some Minesweeper. You know, good stuff.
Oh, shit. That's rad.
Well, I mean, because on Windows 10, it's all connected to Xbox Live. So, you're getting achievements while
yeah.
you play.
Yeah.
And if you have Game Pass Ultimate, you automatically get a subscription to Microsoft Solitaire and Casual Games.
I didn't
Thanks,
realize
Joe.
that.
Yeah,
Wow.
it takes the ads out, doesn't it?
For that specific title, however,
Yeah, I know a couple
Sudoku-
others don't.
Yeah, like the rest of them do not. So you have to
Doesn't it
still pony
also
up.
give you like access to some of the monthly challenges or something like all at once? Like you get some extra time I feel like that was a thing.
Maybe.
Yes and no. You get to go to past ones.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You can go to past ones. That's helpful sometimes.
Oh, well, then yeah.
If you're trying to do your monthly things and you
Yeah, you
miss
can catch
a
up on days.
Yeah.
Aki,
But,
how was your day?
Yeah. Well, I decided to install my new all-in-one modem router, and it didn't work. So I'm using my
no.
old one. That
What happened to the new? Why didn't the new one work?
Bree thinks maybe that I have to call my ISP and have them register it or something.
Oh, yeah, they might need to activate it on their end or something.
Yeah.
I've literally never encountered that. I've always just plugged them in and they've just worked.
There's a digital handshake that might need to occur that's like kind of the same thing as like when you get a new cell phone, you have to have like the SIM card registration may need to happen by talking to someone over the phone. It's a digital handshake thing that's what they might need to do.
Digital handshake is what I do when I go to Pornhub.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate my life. That's how my day's been going, and it's just going downhill.
Heck yeah.
Thank you for that.
No problem, Aki. I live to make your life worse.
Good. Someone has to, and I can't be the only one doing it, I guess.
So in case you were unfamiliar, Andy, with how things go on Thursdays, there you go.
Just wait. At some
Almost
point,
the
he's going to
after dark,
start
right?
talking about his gaping anus. It's fine.
No, we've got a soundbite for that. I don't even have to.
I don't think so, do we?
Coupon code.
I think I got rid of that.
I thought you were talking about
Or the
me
merch.
talking about my gaping anus. I was like, yeah.
Wait, hold on. Whoa, we got rid
Okay,
of the
sunlight
sound.
on
there
there.
you go.
Do you know how many sound clips I go through on this
Entirely
soundboard?
too damn many.
I feel so unloved. You got rid of my gaping anus.
Hey, Jacob.
I'm going to
What?
need you to fuck off, sir.
And it was gaping butthole, which is the coupon code for the merch, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
like,
I mean,
That
I
was a
can
good
have it
reason to
back.
keep it for that reason. But as long as you don't get rid of one of the good ones.
Board. What
Yay.
could I get rid of?
Other than that, my day's been kind of meh. I spent like 13 or 14 hours straight playing one of my review games and went to sleep at like 11 o'clock this morning. So,
yeah.
Heck yeah.
yeah. And I woke up at like 4. So, it was great.
That must be nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like,
5
yeah,
hours
it
of sleep is great. Yeah.
I got woken up early this morning because there was a cat vomiting in my bed.
Nice.
Oh no! Again?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Wait, is this a common occurrence?
Yeah, Teak has problems.
Mm.
Oh no.
Like daily or bi-daily?
Not daily. It's just, she throws up a fair amount. That's why she's missing teeth. She's an old kitty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go, Jacob.
Fall into the abyss of my gaping butthole.
Butthole.
Yes.
Nice.
Heck yeah.
Other than that, I haven't really done anything. I found some new Yarhar places to watch stuff, so that was nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're not
There's a
going to
lot of-
talk about that on the show.
That's why I said Yarhar.
What kind of stuff?
Yarhar stuff. That's all.
So it's pirate movies? That's
oh my
boring.
God, Jacob, shut up.
What?
Yes, Pirates of the Caribbean. Yes, we'll go with that.
I mean, you'd think you'd do something better than that. It's just
No.
Aki. I
Sea of
had
Thieves
higher
clips.
expectations.
I like pirate movies.
Yeah, I mean, like
been secretly watching Sea of Thieves clips to prepare herself for playing. There you go.
I am so sorry.
I know that this isn't exactly
That
the
is
most
cool.
popular opinion, but Cutthroat Island, I think, is better than
Is
the
that
rap it gets.
Fabulous movie.
Yeah, it's really not that bad. Like, I think it should have done a lot better in the box office.
It should have. I enjoyed that movie way too much.
Yeah, see, you thought I was going to discuss something grotesque.
No, Cutthroat Island is fabulous.
I'll pretend like I know what these are.
We know what
1995
Pirates movie
pirate
Jacob
film.
watches.
I have seen that.
Oh, have I? It wasn't terrible.
Yeah, the plot was
Yeah.
surprisingly good. I never got to see the sequel, though.
It was not as good. It still wasn't terrible, but it wasn't as good.
Like, I think my favorite part was actually not in the film, but like how the Florida coastal town where they filmed it, everyone was really excited because like they brought in a ship for it, and they were like, "Oh boy, we're gonna have like some huge like pirate epic film filmed here," and then they found out what it actually was.
Yeah, it's see stuff with good stories though, like that, like always makes for entertainment. Like in that genre, like there's some really good stuff out there. There's some like Alice in Wonderland musical that also falls into that category.
SML After Dark.
Yeah, yeah. There's a Zorro with
There's a Zorro one?
puns. Oh my gosh! The can I say the title?
Wait,
Yes.
you're not talking
Hold
about
on,
the game Blade, are you?
No. It's called The
Okay.
Erotic Adventures of Zorro, and it is full of bad puns.
We've
And,
talked
like,
about this before.
All the other things. Yes, it's a fabulous film. Like it's really good. This really good flamenco dancing, and like it's got a really good story to it. But like, yes, it's totally one of those movies. It's just,
You know what else is
really good.
fabulous? Latino Heat just subbed for the 21st month.
Woo!
Thank you, Latino Heat. Always love seeing you in chat. Enjoy the emotes and the kitty
Your
cats.
subs can drink now. Congrats. They're 21. Yeah,
Oh,
see,
man, so
these are
yeah.
the conversations you miss, Joe. Right here. These are the conversations. These are the kind of conversations me and Bree have all the time.
Yes, the 1976 Alice in Wonderland musical. You should look that up. There's a.
What's the name of that one?
It's the 19. If you Google the 1976 Alice in Wonderland, there's an X-rated version of it, and it's very entertaining.
Once you watch some of these,
Beautiful.
you'll understand why I play so many of the games that I play.
I'm into it.
Yeah, no, there's the song with the lyrics. What's a nice girl like you doing on a night like him?
Oh,
Heck yeah.
man.
I'm taking notes
I-
right now too.
I think my favorite dirtiest song in a movie was, I believe it was the movie Run Ronnie Run. Jack Black is playing like a chimney sweep. They're kind of doing like a Mary Poppins style musical. And it goes like, just give her a kick in the cunt. And a cartoon squirrel's like, a kick in the cunt. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
Hockey would like it.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. I've never heard of this. And all I'm seeing is Tom and Jerry. God damn it.
Oh, man. Should we get to the news?
Yeah, let's do that.
Sure.
Because we got some news to discuss. It has been a weird week for Sony.
Yeah.
They have at the same time released possibly the worst game of the year and the best game of the year.
Mm.
Concord is shutting down. Sony is
2
taking the
weeks.
game offline on September 6th and refunding all players until they determine, quote, the best path ahead for the game. On the
I guarantee
absolute
it.
inverse of that, hold on, Astrobot early reviews are out, and after 75 reviews on OpenCritic, it was sitting at a 95 with a 100% recommendation.
That's impressive.
How's that for a week at Sony?
Mm-hmm.
The whiplash on that, holy shit. So, first off, Concord shutting down. What are your thoughts on Concord just getting 2 weeks and then it's gone?
I think we're going to see it come back in the spring as a free-to-play.
That's possible.
Either that or else they're going to retool it as a single-player campaign, like a loosely built one, kind of like the last Call of Duty, where it's just we're just going to use all the multiplayer maps and like throw in a quick story. That's what I figure is going to happen, because you can't spend that much and just really throw it all away that quick.
I think it said 250 million over 8 years.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Damn.
Yeah. And in 2 weeks, it's all gone.
That's some sunk cost. Yeah.
That's rough. Like we joked about Concord, everyone joked about the player count, but I didn't expect it to just completely tank and shut down after 2 weeks.
Meanwhile, trophy hunters are going mad trying to get as many of the trophies as they can. But
Yes.
some people figured out that they could get more XP for their time by jumping off the map and dying repeatedly. And there's just a mad dash for people to try and get that platinum.
I saw
That was
someone
the best
show a
thing.
video playing online. The match started, everybody sprinted to the cliff and jumped off, and it
Yep.
said team won because the other team killed themselves quicker.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Everyone tried killing themselves and they still won the match.
Yep.
Wouldn't you therefore get more experience if just one person on your team didn't do it? They'd get more experience than everyone else.
I don't know how it works, but
Yeah.
I didn't play it.
Yeah.
Good. I mean,
I think-
it only
I think-
existed for 2 weeks or something, right? Was it
Yeah.
even a full 2 weeks?
I mean, it's still going till tomorrow, so
Yeah.
That's bad.
yeah, it's pretty rough. It is pretty rough for the game. There are 31 people in game on Steam right now.
That is about 50 more than I expected.
Yeah, they estimated
Yeah.
it only sold 25,000 copies.
Yeah, which is it. That for a first-party Sony title,
That's
That
gotta
is-
fucking hurt.
that's rough. But yeah, on the
Yeah.
flip side, Astrobot getting astronomical reviews. Some calling it the best platformer of the decade. Some saying the best platformer of the 2000s. People are comparing it to Mario Galaxy. Like, Team Asobi nailed it with this one.
Yeah.
Anybody have thoughts on Astrobot?
It looks
I'm not
cute,
that
but I don't
familiar.
know much about it. Yeah.
Now they're up to 79 reviews and it's still at 95.
That's great.
That is insane. That is just absolutely mind-blowing. I don't think I've ever seen reviews like this in a long time. So congrats to Sony on that one. What a weird week. Game Pass. New games coming to Game Pass. This week on Tuesday we got Star Trucker, which I can't
Incorporated.
think of anything, but yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll play that after the show.
Nice.
Also this week we got Age of Mythology Retold and Expeditions, a Mudrunner game.
Nice.
Ew.
Next week on the 11th we're getting Riders Republic. It's Brooke's birthday. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't. What day is that?
September 11th. Never forget it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then September 17th, Train Sim World 5 joining Game Pass.
Wow.
Meh.
Yeah. Not all good news, though. A couple of games got to leave Game Pass, and 6 games are hitting the road
Oh,
with
shit.
Ashes of Singularity Escalation on PC. And then on console, we're seeing EA Sports FIFA 23 go, Payday 3, Slime Rancher 2, Spider Heck, and You Suck at Parking.
Damn.
You Suck at Parking was fun.
That was fun. We should play that
Yeah, that
again
game was cool.
sometime.
Yeah, I own it. So let's do that.
How long does the emote only chat last? Yeah, I completely forgot about that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Let me turn that up.
I thought that forced everyone to use only emotes. I'm
It
confused.
Mods
does,
are-
except for mods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Greater business cheating.
Tisk, tisk, Raider.
For exactly that reason, so that they can ask, how long is it supposed to last?
Sure.
I
that's
comment the news and
only
I
time
couldn't
they did
say
it.
anything.
Or Thimber.
Well, say it now, Thimber. You're free. Y'all free.
You're free, cheesy bread.
Lego Harry Potter is getting another re-release on October 8th for Series X and S,
Why?
PS5, and PC.
Why?
I'm good.
Because they can.
Yeah. It'll make money too.
It'll
Of
be a
course it
fresh
will. It's a
achievement
Lego
stack,
game.
I think, too. And
It-
I
yeah, it will
believe
be.
there's a discount if you own the original.
Oh. Yeah, that was one of my favorite ever Lego games too.
Yeah. I like the Harry Potter ones. Those were good.
Yeah.
Those Lego games were in like the golden period when they
Yes,
were
they
all
were.
level based and they were fun to get through, but they weren't overwhelming with the open world
Yeah.
stuff.
Yep.
There's open world
exactly.
ones?
Like all the new
Yeah.
Lego games are open world style.
Yeah,
I've never
like-
played any of those.
The Invincibles kind of has that open world thing where you have
Marvel
like
one has
have
an
the
open
levels.
city.
Yeah. Oh, Batman 3 kind of has
Yeah.
that big open city thing. Yeah.
Oh, I think I have that one. Maybe. I don't know. I have so many of them, but they're all on Steam, and I haven't played but like one or two of them, I think.
Hey, you should play them.
Yeah, I did buy them because I like them, but...
Some bad news. Disco Dodgeball Remix is closing down on February 28th. It will be delisted. Servers will shut down. Offline play will remain.
Yep.
Yeah.
Are any of the achievements online tied or no?
I have no clue. I didn't look that up.
No.
Look it up now. Do something.
I am. I'm playing Minesweeper.
You fucker. Last bit of news I have is some good news for Xbox fans. Capcom announced that after, quote, technical discussions with Microsoft, the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics, Capcom Fighting Collection 2 will both make it to Xbox in 2025. So our bitching paid off.
Yay.
Yay.
Let's hope this leads to Mega Man Battle Network coming too.
I would be interested in playing those games. I've never played those games.
Yeah, because that was I think that was the same situation, like the same framework problem as the new games that people hated the news about. But
going back to Disco Dodgeball, it doesn't look like any even... Like, I think, like, being online helps, but I don't think it's a requirement, because it looks like you can just do games with bots.
Mm.
Well, that's my news. Aki, what you got?
I don't have anything. I'm just flirting with Brooke.
Oh, Jesus. We can't leave you alone for a minute, can we?
No, you can't leave me alone for more than 2 seconds, yo. I will find my way into trouble somewhere.
True. Andy, any news you want to talk about this week?
Really? I didn't know I needed news, so
no,
I
you don't.
Dropped the ball there. Sorry.
That's fine. Aki doesn't have news either, so and she
I
knows
never have news.
that she should have news.
Once in a blue moon, she has like something, but yeah.
Yeah. And then we're all scared. We think she's sick.
Okay. Oh God.
Bree, what news do you have?
I have a couple things I was surprised you didn't bring up, and some other stuff. The Anotria, The Last Song, it's a Souls-like game, was having struggles with getting past certification for Xbox, so it might be delayed launch, but it looks like they're going to get to launch it now. It just might not be in time for the September 19th launch everywhere else. So that's good news.
Did any of you guys play that?
No.
I have not, no. Did you?
Yeah, I did.
How is it?
I don't know. I thought the elements were really cool, but I think they were having a lot of technical issues when I was playing it, and it just didn't run very well. It was very glitchy for me, and it could have just been me, but I don't know. It was cool, but not running super great.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's part of why it was not getting certified.
Maybe.
Possibly.
But it's good to hear they worked out those issues. That story totally slipped my mind.
Yeah. I was going to say the other one I was surprised you didn't, speaking of like sagas, is Visions of Mana layoffs and possibly closing the studio that made it, as they launched. Yeah.
What the hell?
NetEase is closing Uka Studios, if that's how you say it. Is supposedly what's going on, but yeah, they got hit with layoffs the day of launch of Visions of Mana.
Yeah, I thought we covered that last week. That's why I didn't cover it this week.
Yeah.
So
that
I
fucking sucks.
Yeah, that's awful news. On launch
Hey, make
day.
us a game so we can fire you.
Yeah, there were some layoffs. I don't know that it's confirmed that they're closing the studio, but there were definitely some layoffs. So yeah just kind of crazy.
Thimber's saying Lollipop Chainsaw will have the same achievements as the 360 and the same gore level in the original.
Nice.
Although I don't think the music's going to be the same.
I'll still play it. It still looks cool. I don't even care.
I bought a 360 disc for the game so I could have the original.
Fair.
Nice.
I was surprised I didn't have it. I looked on my shelf. I'm like, what the fuck? Where's Lollipop Chainsaw? Not there. It vanished. So
Yeah.
found a new one.
Some bad news, and this is not local news to me, but more brick and mortar stores are closing around the world. Game Mania in the Netherlands and Belgium has filed for bankruptcy, and they have stores closing this week, and it's just kind of like a sign of the times that we're losing more and more of these brick and mortar stores for games. It's not
That's
just
a bummer.
here, and it's not just, you know, our local stores that are making bad decisions. Yeah, not to name names.
I mean, our local stores are definitely making bad decisions.
Yeah, they are. I got another delisting, but with a positive spin. Paper Ghost Stories 7 p.m. Is delisted already as of today at like 7 p.m. I don't know if that was Eastern time or Pacific time or whatever time, but it's already delisted because they have the launch of a new game today called Paper Stories Third Eye Open. And they didn't want people to get confused with the titles, and so now they are selling the new game, and it comes with the original game as one package. So,
If you didn't get the original game, I think you're still missing out on the achievements, though.
possibly, yes.
I think it's just repackaged the original game with the new one.
Yeah. And then my last piece of news was just that the latest update to Fallout 76 is out now, called Milepost Zero, part of which aims to make the game more newbie-friendly. But some of the features for the update involving the caravan systems are delayed until further into the month.
All right, Jacob, what do you got?
So,
Rocksteady got hit with layoffs after Suicide Squad killed the Justice League underperformed. And let's see. The Risk of
The
Rain
other
creator.
big success live story of the live service game of the year.
Yeah, but apparently Warner Brothers is still going to double down on live service games. So
Yeah, because Warner Brothers are stupid right now.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, they are. The Hopu games, the guys who made Risk of Rain, its devs are moving to Valve. So nobody's sure what's happening with that actual studio. Because it's not the studios moving to Valve, but like most of the people in the studio are moving to Valve. So
I thought they were just partnering with Valve for a little while. I didn't realize people were
they're
jumping
moving
ship.
to Valve. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Didn't Valve acquire them?
It doesn't look like it.
I thought Valve acquired them and why they were moving. I don't know. I might have my companies mixed up.
And we had exciting news during the week, which is now already canceled. Yui Boll, the famed video game director, announced that Postal 2 was going to be getting made, and he started up an Indiegogo. Unfortunately, it's already been canceled. All pledges are being refunded. And it looks like the movie is just being put on the back burner for unspecified reasons, and he's moving ahead with something called California Fried Movie. So
that doesn't
we
sound
all
good.
Sounds bad.
Well, he made a like one of his first films was a comedy film called The German Fried Movie. Like there was a comedy film back in the 70s called The Kentucky Fried Movie.
Yeah.
Which was essentially like a lot of like short vignettes. Anyways, he did one called The German Fried Movie, and he's going to make like a spiritual sequel to that. And as I said, for unspecified reasons, Postal 2 is on the back burner, but they didn't say why. It's just, it is. So I don't know if there were potentially rights issues that weren't nearly as clear as he thought, which honestly wouldn't be the first time that this has happened to him, because back, I think it was like 2010, 2011, he got approached by some French media group who was like, "Hey, do you want to make a Metal Gear Solid movie?" And he's like, "Okay, yeah, that's fine." And then like Hideo Kojima's like, "I'm never letting you touch this," and he was just like, "Oh, okay." Well, they approached me. I thought they had the rights, and it turns out they never did.
No.
They thought that they could just, all right, well, we have a director, we'll get the rights to it, and then so maybe it was something similar to that.
I don't know, but we spent way too much time talking about that guy. He's not worth that much time.
Oh, come
Did
on.
anybody watch the Minecraft movie trailer? That was news this week, right?
I wasn't going to talk about it because I'm forever pissed about the copyright strike that we got.
Oh, God.
So
Oh,
no, I just will never cover it on the Facebook page, except to make memes making fun of it. So yeah, I watched the trailer out of morbid curiosity, and that thing looks like even if I hadn't gotten the let me put it to you this way, even if we hadn't received the copyright strike, I'd still think it looked like shit.
Okay.
Jack Black just like I am.
It looked weird to me. I don't know.
Like what are we supposed to do? Stand up and clap? Like, okay. I don't know. I like the look of it. It looks great, to be honest, but like, holy shit, is that a green screen movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look good at all.
I mean, the animators should be very pleased with what they did. I think it really captured a great look, but the movie just looks like crap.
I think our friend Doc Havoc said it the best way on our Discord. As much as I like the guy, it's likely just going to be Jack Black playing Jack Black as Jack Black because Jack Black.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sounds about
That's
right.
fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So some quick news tidbits from Thimber. Balattro's getting a mobile version.
Nice.
So if you want to play that on the go, you'll be able to.
On the go. Got it.
And Microsoft apparently has 2 Transformer games being rated in Australia.
I saw that.
Not sure if those are going to be the older games re-released or new titles. I'm sure we'll find out soon, though.
I really hope it's the old titles. I mean,
Are those any good? I've never played any.
oh yeah. Well, hold on. Let me go back on that. So the Cybertron games are good. The ones based on the movies are not. And there was one, it was like the Dark Spark or whatever it was. That one was mildly okay.
Hey, I will.
I'm not gonna lie, no matter what they release, I'm buying it. Or bugging Joe to like, get
Good luck.
like to try to get a review copy.
luck.
But what do you mean good luck?
Good luck.
Whatever. Anyway.
I told you, if you mention it on the show, you're not getting it.
Dude,
That's my rule. If you beg for something on the show, you're not getting it.
I'm not begging for it. I just
You just did. If you could get it for no, you're not getting it.
No, I didn't beg.
Was it Rise of the Dark Spark and Fall of Cybertron are the 2 Activision ones that have Xbox One releases. So those might be the 2 that we get.
Dark Spark was meh. Fall of Cybertron was awesome.
So did I assume those are the only 2 I can get a hold of anymore? I assume the other ones are gone now that 3.
They're all
all
gone.
delisted.
They're all gone.
Oh.
Yeah, they're all.
Except maybe Outright. Doesn't Outright have one?
Yeah, they have
Outright
one.
Outright has one, and they're about to release a second one. It's like a Transformers racing game.
Oh, okay. Then I guess I won't be adding any of these Transformer games to my list.
Earth Spark Expedition is the Outright Games one. Then there's also Transformers Battlegrounds and Transformers
Oh, yeah.
Devastation.
Shoot, Devastation's delisted.
I think that one might be on disc, though, is it?
Yeah, it's on disc, but I mean, all of them are on disc, but I think Devastation's delisted at this point. The Earthspark game it's fine. Like my kids fire it up every once in a while.
I don't think Cybertron's on disc. Dark Spark is.
All of the Cybertron games are.
Not the Xbox One version.
The only one I've played is War for Cybertron.
Yeah, the
That's
360 version's got physicals, but the Xbox One version, Fall of Cybertron, did not get a physical release. It was digital only.
That's dumb.
Welcome to the new age of gaming. More games are going digital only. Any other
Let's go
news?
digital.
Nope.
Jacob?
Nah.
Nothing?
Nope.
Should we? Oh, Thimber saying, talking Concord, physical discs are selling like insane prices for the physical copy of Concord right now.
Not worth the original price, let alone the
Not at
increased.
all.
Especially since it's going to be a game that once they close it completely, that disc is fucking useless. You can't play it solo, can you?
It makes
like
a
collector
handsome
thing.
poster. Yeah.
To have
Ooh, I wonder
such
if you
a
can still get
flop.
that I wonder if you can still get that PS5 controller. I liked the look of that.
It's sold out. I tried getting it.
Ah, damn.
Yes, PlayStation Direct was the last place that had it, and they sold out the night that they announced they were shutting.
Strange.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Oh, should we get to reviews?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah.
All right, Andy, you ready to kick things off?
Let's do it.
All right, first game to talk about tonight is a preview of the Call of Duty Black Ops 6 beta developed by Treyarch, Raven Software, and the rest of Activision, published by Activision, released October 25th, or it's releasing October 25th on Xbox One, Series X and S, PS4, PS5, and PC for $69.99. Developed by Treyarch and Raven, Black Ops 6 is a spy action thriller set in the early 90s, a period of transition and upheaval in global politics, characterized by the end of the Cold War and the rise of the United States as a single superpower. With a mind-bending narrative and unbound by the rules of engagement, this is signature Black Ops. Andy, you checked out the beta, the online multiplayer beta. What are your thoughts on that? How did it feel? How did it run? Give us all the details.
Not to give you any spoilers, it felt great. It was a good experience overall. But to be like perfectly transparent, like I haven't played really like a Call of Duty game or like Call of Duty Black Ops, in a long time. I think I was maybe like early 20s the last time I really got into like one of those. But jumping into this one, everything felt like the game I remember just like turned up to 11. It was nice, and I don't know what the games had kind of done along the years, because like I said, I just didn't really get into it after I had played for a while, but I thought this one was pretty cool. So it's currently in the middle of a 2-weekend event. I think it's currently closed, and the next weekend starts on tomorrow, actually on the 6th. And then ends on the 9th. So it was 2 separate weekends. They were kind of doing an only multiplayer mode right now. Lots of people were jumping on. I really didn't have too many issues jumping into it. I think there was a lot of people getting on. So, obviously a couple of times I loaded it up and I had to shut it down and bring it back up again. But if anybody else wants to, try it out or something after the review, tomorrow to Monday the 9th, I believe, the second weekend is going. So each weekend, players are able to earn
of my gaping
up to
butthole.
9 unique. Do it. There we go. Cosmetic rewards. Those cosmetic rewards carry over into the main game. Some of them include charms, emotes, gun blueprints, operator skins. And you unlock them by meeting the required level over the each weekend event. Some of them were only available during the first weekend, so anybody jumping into it now are not going to be able to get those. But maybe they'll come back out later as like a special promotion or something down the line. I think the first weekend level caps were at 20. Second weekend level caps are at 30. No official statement yet whether the level progression carries over into the main game. But according to some things I looked up about previous Call of Duty game releases, it has not carried over. So just assume it's going to reset too. In the game, there's new perk loadouts and special perks based on a color coordination. I thought this was pretty neat. I don't remember this from previous games, so a lot of this stuff is new to me as well. You get a general 3 perks. I think they're green, red, and blue. But then you get a 4th special perk based on. Sorry, my kids are screaming in the background. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but you get a fourth special perk based on like if you color coordinate. So special perks include like enemies appear, like you could see where everybody is at on the map, like even through walls, like as you like jump in, or what's another one, like special speed and health regen after a kill. You know, they have a whole list of them too. But some of the main perks include a something as like resupply ammo from killed enemies, reducing incoming explosive damage, reduced weapon motion when jumping or sliding, some faster weapon swaps, recharge equipment over time, faster healing and revive advantages. And they're all there's the three, so I think they each have like 10 to 15 different perks right now that they're kind of showcasing. Using weapons, and I think this was like in the previous Call of Duties as well, using weapons unlocks attachments to that weapon, sights, grips, muzzles, underbarrel, magazines, all those fun things, you know, and all those things tweak the way the gun responds in battle scenarios. Like I said, probably, I feel like that's the same from previous Call of Duties too, so nothing super new there. They did come out with some new maps as well, which I felt looked really cool. A lot of them very much have that, as you said, like 90s theme to them. There were some abandoned train cars. There was a military outpost, some rooftop, like a rooftop resort with like a gym, kitchen, pool, panic room kind of thing. Excuse me. One of my favorites was like a shopping plaza. It had like a video rental store as part of the main area, you know, and then like a burger place across the street. I thought that was pretty neat. Apparently that's like based on a strip mall in West Virginia. Some smaller maps as well. There was a rushing mining tunnel, like a Capitol building room, one that was like crumbling pillars and archway, and like some apartment, you know, complexes that were like interconnected. So during the multiplayer, they had kind of their core mashup of game modes, and then they had like kind of smaller maps with like faster, kind of like a face off is what they were calling them, you know, which is a smaller map, and you know, do anything from kill for points or like example, let me give you some of the game modes, like team deathmatch, which was like kill opponents to rack up points for your team, domination, where you have to like kind of hold 3 points of interest. Some of the smaller ones were face-offs, so a face-off team deathmatch, which is kind of the same thing as team deathmatch, just on a smaller map, or a face-off kill confirmed, where enemies will drop dog tags, and you have to run over and grab them real quick to get points for your team. Weekend 2 adds 2 new game modes: Gunfight, where there is no respawns and no health regen for your team or the opposing team. That sounds really cool. I'm actually really excited for that one.
I might actually get a kill in that because I suck at these games.
I'm not good at them either, and there are a lot of like helpful sides to the game too. They have like aim assist on there and plenty of things to kind of tweak the game so that it helps new players, you know. Returning players obviously can keep those on or turn them off if you want, but they kind of tiered some of that too, so that you know, if you haven't played one of those games in a long time, you can feel like you're not total trash, I'd say. I think the first game I played, I had aim assist on, and I was like, oh man, I got like 20 kills. Like I'm feeling pretty good. And I turned it off, and I was like, oh, I got like 8 kills. Like that's less cool, but I still feel pretty good, I guess, you know. So yeah, so weekend 2 again adds Gunfight. That seems really awesome. I'm excited for that. The no respawns or health regen, and then also a face-off kill order where it's a small map, and you have a basically like a VIP player, you know, that runs around, and you have to keep them safe, you know. a couple of new things that they add to this. They have world connectivity, where your movements and actions are connected to obviously the world around you, and respond to your own movement. So, for example, they added some like the slide and like the dive, based on a run and things like. And if you, for example, jump over a wall into like a pool or something, your character will actually go into like a full diving animation. If you go to slide somewhere, your like character will kind of like slide around a wall, and like duck down, They also added an omnidirectional improvement to their movement, so players can strafe and like run in all directions, at like a more balanced speed. So there's no like awkward sidestepping or like backstepping, in the game. They also introduced a new hit zone system. And so previous Call of Duties had 4 regions to where if your character got hit, they would respond differently based on death animations, So they went from 4, they upgraded it up to 9 different zones. So anywhere on those 9 zones, if you get hit and killed, it's a completely different death animation. Corner slicing, which changes the weapon's tilt based on the object you're moving around. That helps a lot if you're trying to get an enemy around a corner. You don't quite want to expose yourself fully. And also weapons will change their own tilt dynamic based on the speed you're moving at. So obviously it's going to be more noticeable when you're moving slow, if you're trying to come up through a window or around a wall or anything like that, over a box, and almost you won't really see it, like if you're moving fast, Also, one of the cool things, which I didn't realize until it actually happened to me, was players can use opponents as human shields during firefights. This was badass, man. And it happened to me because I got grabbed and I was playing with a buddy of mine in multiplayer, and I was just like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm grabbed. Like, somebody help me. Do I shoot the guy behind me? I don't know. But and a couple of times a buddy got grabbed, or, a teammate got grabbed, and I was able to shoot him in the head or something and take him out. So it was really neat. It was really awesome, really fun, kind of like feature that they added to it as well too. So, in the game, there's obviously, game balancing issues. I've noticed a couple of articles that have come out recently about a few overpowered guns. Some tweaks to like the running and sliding, like firing sounds, so that kind of enhances gameplay. But I mean, overall, it's a beta right now. It's a fun experience. If you guys enjoyed Call of Duty, the previous ones, it's more Call of Duty. It was cool.
And really, like, Call of Duty fans, that's what they want, more Call of Duty.
Yeah,
that's why it's one of the best-selling games every year.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm trying not to like compare it to like a sports game, at all. But I mean, it is kind of in my mind that
Call of Duty roster update.
Exactly. Yeah, it's that same thing. They add some new maps, they add a new team. They add some new perks, like a couple of features. But I think this one, like, they added the omnidirectional movement, which definitely enhances gameplay. Added some perks, which helps out too, and the new maps and game modes and stuff like that. It's fun. I'm also excited to see. I mean, I have been looking into a couple of things. I think obviously like zombies is coming back. That's a fan favorite, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think I've ever played like a single player campaign in Call of Duty. Do they have single player too?
Yeah. Yeah, they
okay,
have campaigns.
Yeah. I don't want to sound like a noob to the series. I just don't. I've never heard anybody talk about it before, but I'm sure that's great too.
Because the highlight of the Call of Duties is the multiplayer.
Yeah.
See,
So,
for me, I always play the campaign, and that's it.
I think that's going to be a good thing with Game Pass this year for the people who don't care about the multiplayer like us. Because I'll try a campaign here and there. I won't have to buy the game. I could just play it on Game Pass.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the campaigns normally? Are they good? Are they like okay? Or
previous ones I've really enjoyed, like when it was set during World War II. Even Modern Warfare was good, but last year, Vanguard was like, I liked Vanguard's story as well, even though it was a tad short. Last year was really sloppy because they just took the multiplayer maps, tossed on like a bunch of missions that you had to do within them, but it just felt like an open sandbox kind of thing, and it really was not that good. I'm really hoping it's not like that again.
Yeah, we'll find out more about the campaign when it gets closer to launch. For now, the beta, you said there's another one coming up?
Yeah, so it's the 2-weekend event, and the second weekend starts tomorrow, the 6th, and runs till, I believe, Monday is the 9th. So it closes on Monday. Yeah.
Cool. Well, is this something that is Call of Duty Black Ops 6 something that people should be keeping their eyes on? Should we wish list it online? What should we do with this game?
I would say if you're a Call of Duty fan, definitely get it, because it seems like, I mean, me playing it, I enjoyed it, and everybody I played with, enjoyed it too. Yeah. If you are thinking about checking it out, as like a new player into the series, I would definitely give it a shot. Like I said, I haven't played one in years, and I got really into this one, over the time I was able to play it. So
very cool. Well, hopefully we will have a full review in the future. Depends how fate turns out for us, but for now, Andy, that is it for you. Thank you as always for coming on and hanging out with us. We will let you get back to your kids.
Yeah, I gotta find out what it's about.
You have awesome, any final words before we let you go?
Nah, just get out there, play some games, enjoy it, and hope you guys have a wonderful weekend too.
You too.
Cool.
You too.
Have a good one.
All right, kick ass, guys. Peace.
Bye.
Peace. All right, next game to talk about is Pinball FX, developed and published by Zen Studios. New tables released August 29th. On all platforms for Pinball FX for $5.49 each. We have 2 tables to talk about tonight on... Yeah. Goat Simulator Pinball. Get ready to experience the wildest pinball game inspired by the absurdity of Goat Simulator 3. From headbutting bumpers to launching yourself through loops, every move you make will leave a trail of chaos behind. Bree, tell us about Goat Simulator Pinball.
So I'll be filling in for your regular Ball Squad correspondent as a subject matter expert on the table theme, not the balls.
I'm a subject matter expert about balls.
Oh, he ruins everything.
So I loved this IP for a table. I've played all the Goat Sim games, and I was so excited when I heard this announced. In general, if you're unfamiliar with Pinball FX, on all the tables you get game modes like Classic, Arcade, and Hot Seat. You have some challenges you can set, and of course, you can set the table physics between normal and realistic. But yeah, in Goat Sim, you've got the flyover intro. The farmer from Goat Sim 3 gives you this intro, and he starts out with, "Hey, you're finally awake." And he rambles on for a while and does some, little intro to the table. And, and then if you actually sit and wait for a while, he'll say, "I can't believe you haven't skipped yet."
I didn't wait long enough for that. Oh man.
Oh yeah. It's pretty funny. Yeah, so there's a story to the table, as weird as that might be, but you're it's the same story as Goat Simulator. You're training to be the best goat you can be, and generally want to cause some chaos. And it has references mostly from Goat Simulator 3. I can't say that. I just want to say Goat Sim from now on.
That's fine.
In terms of events, the plunger for the ball is a cannon. And your ball is like a soccer ball or a beach ball or a volleyball.
It changes
all the time. Yeah. I think it takes a while to become just like a regular pinball. But there is a regular pinball in there. But yeah, there's just think of a bunch of different style of balls, and there you go. They have to be round, but other than that,
you can't feed me straight lines like that.
Yes, I can. In the center of the table is the goat tower, and you can synchronize the tower by hitting the center, and that's worth 1,000,000 points the first time you get it in there, So your score feels high right out of the gate, which is really nice because it's a pretty easy shot to make.
I love how long the video for the synchronization takes. It's just so long.
It is. It's awkwardly long. It's kind of like the timing of some jokes in Family Guy, where it's just like they hold it just too long for emphasis. Yeah, it is. It's just too long, and it's great. But yeah, the scoring is done similar to Goat Simulator games, except there the points don't matter as much. Here you want points because it's pinball. And you get points for doing things like alternating tricks, performing emotes, gaining karma points, and more, which are like your regular lanes. And then there's some target words you can spell, like goat and ba. Up by the bumpers, there's you can spell ba. Different events will pop up, like pressing the big red nuclear button, or a talent show where you want to hit the specific ramp for Pilgor to perform emotes, or the tickler for hitting drop targets. You also earn instinct points that unlock events further down the road. So one of the nice things about this is you can choose the event you want to do. It pops up a little window, and it took me a while to figure out which button to press, but you get to choose the event that you want to focus on, which is pretty cool because you can, if you know you're good at hitting certain ramps or something, you can do that over and over. You can get good points fast. The music is classic Goat Sim fare. And like being in the game, you can hear NPCs saying things about the goat, like, oh, that's a 360 you just did there. Or, oh, you're such a handsome goat. Just like really dumb little things. And the farmer will throw things on the playing field for you to collect, like the golden goat trophies. Or sometimes there'll be explosive barrels and things like that. On the play field, which is bright and colorful. You've got pictures of, your main goat, Pilgor. You've got the Abominana. You've got the tall goat, which is a giraffe, by the way. So
you say it's a colorful. I do want to throw out, this is one of my complaints with the table.
Okay.
I think it could get a bit too busy and hard to follow the ball.
It is a little busy. And that's my kind of word for this table is it was a chaotic table.
Yes.
It is very chaotic, but that to me was fun.
It was controlled chaos.
It was. The shots were fun. There was a lot of variety on the table. It felt like a good table for a novice pinball player like myself. There was plenty of easy ramps to hit. There was only one set of flippers to worry about until you get to the special shot for the basketball hoop. And then even then, it's still just an isolated one flipper shot. My record on the table was like 17 million and change. So like the shots felt rewarding with lots of points to score. Like it was just, you felt like you were scoring well, even if you're not like amazing at pinball.
And something I loved about the table is it didn't feel unfair. A lot of pinball tables, like you'll get a lot of center drains or side drains that just piss you off and don't feel fair. I didn't run into that with this table. It felt like a good, fair table, and I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, exactly. So while I think this table is going to be enjoyed more if you're familiar with the games, I think this is one that's fun regardless, as long as you're not like overwhelmed by the busyness of the table. So yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, we also have the Princess Bride pinball. Not just your basic, average, everyday, ordinary, run-of-the-mill, ho-hum pinball table. Jump into a world of treachery, peril, revenge, and a bit of kissing. Bree, what's going on in the Princess Bride pinball table?
So again, subject matter expert, not here about the balls, but yeah, Princess Bride is one of my favorite all-time movies. I think at one point I could probably quote the whole movie from start to finish. So that time is not now because I'm old and I can't remember things like what I ate for dinner. I had pork chops. I do remember that tonight. But yeah, the background of the table is the bedroom of the grandson. The art on the inner cabinet walls is gorgeous and full of meaningful references. The art style overall is like a comic/cartoony style. And the playfield is bright and full of references to like ROUSs and more. The plunger is Fezzik's fist. And it launches the ball through the machine in the pit of despair. And I just like think that was an amazing choice. You get clips from the movie in the top left. The ball out is stuff like Inigo getting stabbed in the stomach by Count Rugen, 600 Man, or he knocks Wesley with the pommel of his sword. And then, like, there are movie quotes that make sense for what's going on, like losing a ball on launch. Fezzik might say, "I did that on purpose. I didn't have to miss." You know, so it's got a lot of really good, like, meaningful quotes. When you hit up into the max area, like the Miracle Max, you know, you'll hear some quotes from him. When you hit other areas near the castle, you're going to hear stuff that makes sense for that. You have Vicini's Battle of Wits goblets on a carousel, and there's an event for that. You can climb the Cliffs of Insanity and battle with Inigo Montoya. You can storm the castle. There's a section for the Miracle Max's hut, like I said. Oh yeah, for the cliffs in particular, you hit a target, and the Dread Pirate Roberts Wesley makes, sorry, spoilers for how old is that movie now? Jeez. Makes it a little
86.
Yeah, I know it was 86, but I know, right? Makes it a little further up the rope. So you hit the ball, the target, and he climbs a little further up. And then you hit it again, and he climbs a little further up. And Inigo will say, you know, I promise you'll make it to the top alive. And then you hit it again, and he gets to the top, and he waits. And, you know, he says, you know, Inigo makes a comment about whether or not he has 6 fingers on his right hand. And then you hit it again, and then they get to the top and start their fight. And it was just a really cool mechanic to, like, do it in steps, so it felt like the movie. This was a beautiful, elegant table. It does a good job of showcasing scenes and quotes from the movie. The table is a little more challenging than others I've played. To trigger a lot of the really cool events on the table, you have to do well. The special shots required a lot more skill and precision. The amount of times I lost the ball... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think compared to Goat Sim and a lot of other tables, it's a lot slower and more relaxed of a table. I didn't feel the ball going as fast. It kind of felt like instead of the table being tilted up really high, that it was kind of low and the ball was just kind of meandering in some areas. Yeah, I liked how it was more of a leisurely pace to it.
Yeah, but the amount of times I lost the ball right out of the shot lane was inconceivable. And overall, like a low scoring table. I think my highest score in the table was close to like 2 million, and I'm working on my skills to do better at it. But yeah, I think I enjoyed the nostalgia factor for this table more than I liked the table itself, but it was beautiful, and I'm glad to have it as part of my collection.
All right, well, let's talk price on these. The 2 tables are available for $549 each. What are your thoughts on both of them?
I mean, it's a buy it for both for me. Again, I just said, you know, I think I enjoyed the nostalgia more than the table for Princess Bride, but I think that's because I'm pitting it against, you know, Goat Simulator, that like they were 2 very different style of tables to me. They, you know, and I got a lot more satisfaction and that high score and that chaos for me personally out of the Goat Sim table. I had a lot more fun, and I think I probably spent more time with that one. But I do like your comments about the more leisurely pace to the Princess Bride table. And again, it was just a beautiful table, and I love them both. So
yeah, I can agree with you. They're both really good tables, great additions to the pinball library. Princess Bride surprised me with how good it was. I thought that was a really solid table. I like how I wish it was higher scoring, because I like high scoring games. It makes me feel like I accomplish more.
Exactly.
But when I get a high score on a low scoring table, that makes me feel better.
Exactly. And that's, you know, to me, it kept me going back to just work on my skills and really feel like I was getting a better handle on the skill shots and stuff like that. I started getting really good at getting Wesley up the Cliffs of Insanity and making that shot, you know, as opposed to just hitting the easy ramps. So yeah.
Very cool. So 2 buy-its?
2 buy-its.
Awesome. All right, next game to talk about is Raging Loop, developed and published by KEMCO, released August 30th, Xbox One, Series X and S, Windows Store, and PS5 for $29.99. Can you survive by solving the mysteries of the death loop and tragedies? When the evening mist comes, that's the sign of a murder ritual beginning. Repeat the death loop, experience the tragedies, and solve the mystery of paranormal phenomenon. A psychological horror visual novel. What awaits at the end of the looping? Jacob, you played this. Bree, you played this. And Aki, you played this previously, so everyone's going to talk about it. Jacob, how about you start us off? What is Raging Loop?
So Raging Loop is this visual novel that also plays into like the party game Werewolf or Mafia, where you have a group of people and you have people who are like one of them's a werewolf, and then like each round everyone tries to figure out who the werewolf is, and and you try to eliminate the werewolf before all the humans are dead.
If you've never played either of those games or know what that is, if you're familiar with Among Us, it's kind of very similar kind of concept to that as well.
Yeah, good point. And so you play as this guy who's on his motorcycle and gets lost in this very rural region of Japan. And you end up getting stuck in a forest, and this girl leads you back to the settlement area where there's only like 15 people, and everyone is very suspicious of outsiders. And on top of it, there's this mist that's happening where you can't see anything, and everyone's like, oh, well, you can't leave now. And it turns out that, yeah, things get pretty messed up real quick. And your first night, you think you see a werewolf, and you have to pretty much figure out what it is. And as you're going through, you have to talk to everybody, and it almost becomes kind of like a choose your own adventure kind of thing. You're going to die a lot in this game, and I mean a lot.
So much. Yeah.
But that's the point. So
that is the point.
Right.
Yeah.
That is the point, because the thing is that you're stuck in this time loop, and every single time you die, you come back with the information that you learned previously. And so at the very beginning of the game, there's actually this introduction where they kind of explain this, and they're like, we understand some of you are going to upload this to YouTube or stream it, and we ask that you only stream or upload to a certain point. And honestly, I wasn't even sure how much I was going to get to talk about it, and then I completed the main story, and then it's like, oh, okay, yeah, this is a hefty game. Like, there is a lot to it. So to the point where, it's like when you finally get to the part where you're not allowed to stream or anything like that anymore, like you've essentially played through one run of the game. And it is wild. Like, it gets into like some fucked up shit. And, it's honestly pretty damn thrilling. Like, I'm having a lot of fun with it. I haven't completed the game yet, but I really like the idea behind it, and the dialogue is pretty engaging. It doesn't feel like as though there's really as many decisions that you really get to make. I mean, there's plenty of decisions, but it requires you, again, like as we said, it requires you to die a lot. And when you make certain decisions, right? When you make certain decisions or die a certain way, you get a key, and to unlock certain dialogue options, if you have those keys, those dialogue options become available to you. And thankfully, the game does tell you, like, okay, go back to the menu at this spot, because now you can figure out where the heck you have to go next. So you don't get too lost, but yeah, there's a lot to it. I didn't really have any problems with it, other than there are some areas that still aren't translated. Like, you could see where the translator left notes as to what's supposed to go on, and so it's just like,
I didn't have that problem at all
on Xbox.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually uploaded a screenshot of it on True Achievements, just so I could reference it later on. But yeah, it says something like, dang it, now I have to load it up. But like, pretty much it's just like describing the character's actions and stuff like that, and like what they're seeing. Let me Anyway, Bree or Aki, if you want to talk about it while I'm finding it, if anybody,
Bree, tell us about your thoughts on Raging Loop.
So yeah, I actually stayed up until like way too late the other night because I couldn't put it down.
I did too. I was like, oh, shit, it's 2:30 in the morning.
Well, and I got into chapter 6, which is the actual Feast of the Yomi Purge night, and like I was on the true ending playthrough, or at least what I thought was going to get me there. Finally, and yeah, I could not put it down, and I don't want to give away spoilers for it. Like that's the risk here, but like Haruaki was like definitely making different calls and different shots and was like in charge of things, and I just like, and you're going through and seeing all these things, and like because I'm not dying, it was getting super tense, and the game gets gory, like really dark and really gory. I will say, when you get to the true ending, without giving away spoilers, it did feel a little like they were trying to cram a whole other half a story in there, which was a lot of exposition, a lot of stuff going on, and it was worth it to get there and worth it to stay up and like get that ending done and see the sort of true resolution to the game. But it was just like, they were just trying to cram too much in at the end to me. All in all, though, like I absolutely loved this game. I loved the loops. I loved the dying. I loved the system of it. The characters were really well written. You also, after you complete the game, you get the revelation mode. So you get to see like people's internal thoughts. And that was a really cool way to experience the story as well. So, I mean, I recommend, like, you're looking to really completionist. If you are a completionist, you want to get all the story, all the things, you're looking at somewhere between 30 and 40 hours worth of content.
Oh,
like,
wow.
I've got like 20 hours into the game, and yeah.
Yeah, there's like, apparently, if you skip through all the dialogue, you can get all the achievements within an hour, but you're doing yourself a huge disservice by not.
Absolutely.
And also I uploaded it to the Discord, but like the scene that it really had, like the big one that happened to me with the stuff that's not translated, the text just says, missed, me, arrow, girl, arrow, behind, arrow,
weird.
missed. Miss.
Yeah, I did not run into that at all, apparently, on my run through. That's funny.
Oh, well, dang.
Wow, that's a great screenshot.
And the thing is, like, I didn't even care. Like, I mean, I got it. Like, I got what was trying to happen, and I figure, like, oh, somebody just left notes and, like, never quite finished it, whatever.
Yeah.
And it only happened, I think, twice early on in the game, but so it was like yeah, it's a whatever, but
I kind of want to use that for the episode image, but I don't think anyone would understand it.
Oh, do it, it's fun. But yeah, like honestly, I'm really excited about this. I'm really glad I requested Joe to see if we could get a review copy, because this game's dope. Like,
you're in for a treat when you finally get to that true ending.
I can't wait for it. I can't wait to see what the hell happens.
Yeah, there's some good stuff in there. Like, it's, again, I don't want to give any spoilers, but there's all this stuff, like whether or not if other people are experiencing the loops, or whether or not there's really anything supernatural going on. And finding out like all of those answers is so cool and so rewarding.
Aki, any thoughts on your end about the game?
I put 35 and a half hours into that game, and I beat it. It was good. I think I did that in like a week back when I went to review it. It was fantastic.
Let me tell you how much I enjoy this game. It has severely cut into my Disney Dreamlight Valley time.
There you go.
Severely. I've only put in I think an hour tops this week on it, because I've been too busy playing Raging Loop.
Yeah, if I had realized this was coming out, I would have requested requested it. I love this game. It's fantastic. I like the art in it. And I love any time I find a game or a movie or whatever that's doing the wolf game. I love the wolf game. Every time I've ever watched a movie or a TV series where that's the whole plot, it has always been so fantastic. I love stuff that has this game in it. So yeah, I'm 100% for this game. It's so fun.
Cool. Well, it clocks in at $29.99. What is everybody's thoughts on Raging Loop?
Absolutely. This is one of my favorite games this year.
It's
Like
probably
high
one of
praise
my
from
favorite
you, Jacob.
visual novel.
It is, especially for a visual novel, because I mean, I generally think of those games as glorified PowerPoints. Yeah,
Wow.
I'm having a lot of fun with this game.
Cool. All right, next up, 112 Operator, developed by Jutsu Games, published by Ultimate Games, released August 30th on Xbox One, Series X and S, PS4, PS5 for $24.99. 112 Operator allows you to manage emergency services in any city in the world, dispatch units, take calls, and face situations caused by weather, traffic, or changing seasons. Help the city survive escalating events like riots, organized crime, terrorist attacks, cataclysms, natural disasters, and many more. Bree, what is going on in 112 Operator?
So first, I want to say this game is rated M for all the horrible things that happen that cause people to call emergency services and may not be right for everyone. This is a sequel to 911 Operator. I did not play the original, but new features over the original include bigger maps of real cities, redesigned campaign mode with new calls and large events, the new fire mechanic that can span different wide areas, new team members, you get additional dispatchers you can assign to different districts, and all sorts more. The settings allow you to switch to Imperial units in case you're in America and you can't convert, which that was very nice of them. The game can be played in scenarios, free play, or campaign modes. The campaign mode takes place in major world cities like Berlin, Istanbul, London, Paris. Scenarios are things like California wildfires, a massive heat wave in China, a plane crash in Sweden, or a shootout in Brazil. And in free play, you can pick from tons of cities all over the world and take things as they come. You also have 4 difficulty settings from easy to expert, and since I was unfamiliar with 911 Operator and at the game's suggestion, I chose easy to start with. The game recommends headphones, and I would too. It helps give that sense of immersion. I can't say words today. Immersion. And as you have like random chatter that's coming on the radio all the time, it really gives you that feel like, oh yeah, I got my headphone, I got my microphone. You know, like I'm really doing this. It's very cool for a simulator to just dive into that. I focused on the campaign. And I played in Berlin to start with. Your main map shows the units you have available. Fire, police, and ambulance units are different colors to help you identify quick. You have events that pop up that you can dispatch to, like drunk drivers need a police unit. A crash with injury might need multiple units. When a unit arrives on the scene, the situation overview becomes available, which is really cool. The units will act on their own to get the job done. You do need to be mindful of what exact units you're sending. You'll need to transport for, say, a heart attack victim, but you can send a motorcycle ambulance for a bee sting. And then, the bee sting might go bad and they need a shot and then they need transport anyway. And you might end up having to send a transport vehicle to that spot to resolve the case. You'll need transport space and armed officers for potential shootings, but you might only need a motorcycle for a red light runner or a speeder. You get reputation points for every resolved incident and penalties for those you don't. And I got some penalties.
Oh boy, what'd you do?
I'll explain that later. Sometimes you'll just get an incident in queue or randomly on the map, but other times you'll get calls. On calls, you have to get questions answered about where they are, what kinds of services they need, and make decisions about how to best handle things. My first call was someone who was reporting a fire. No big deal. Get the address. Good to go. My second call was a literal Karen who claimed the restaurant robbed her and tried to poison her. I dismissed the call and I got a penalty for that. So the calls were voice acted, which is great. And the voice acting was really well done. When the day is over, you get a review of all the cases you did and whether or not you solved or got your penalties. and you can click in to the different cases and see like what happened, what you did good or bad, so that you can do better for later. The game also has a management mode where you can take a look at all your units and modify or buy more, and that happens between duty shifts. You can check emails, which will give you tips on the game and sometimes some of the story. You get an objectives tab, a weather tab, because the weather changes can cause you to not be able to use all of your units and affects, what's going on that day. You've got stats, and you can assign dispatchers in different districts. Or you can buy and equip new units. Emails are where I learned some of the story that you've come over from Europe after being a 911 operator in the first game, and you're like in your probation period, having just been hired, and you want to do your best. And so that's kind of like the shtick for the story. Emails also contain tips from the devs and encourage you to familiarize yourself with proper first aid as a tip to success. But the prompts seem pretty common sense. Like, don't perform CPR on the person with something sticking out of their chest. Some of it's common sense. I was able to muddle my way through, knowing what I know. You can speed up time or pause, but you can only pause on like the easier difficulties. I think in later difficulties or higher difficulties, like you don't get a pause at all. You can only save the game at the beginning or end of your duty shift. I found that the unit selection mode on the main map was magnetic, meaning that the cursor wanted to automatically go to the nearest unit, but that was sometimes problematic when there were 2 units nearby and I wanted to use the other one and I clicked too quickly. You can kind of back out and whatever, but I had to learn to zoom into the map better, faster, to avoid running into that. Once you get promoted, you get extra districts. Comes with more units, more areas to manage, and this is where strategy comes into play. Your police units will automatically patrol small areas, but your ambulance and fire stay at base until told to move. But you can disperse your units preemptively amongst the districts to have them closer to potential incidents and make them less clustered when in a hurry, and that magnetism kicks in. Sorry, I'm looking through my notes here. I found the pace of the game on easy to be manageable. I found some of the call scenarios to be confusing, though. I felt like in a few cases there was no win or right answer. And I guess that's close to real life, which says something for the writing of the game being realistic. But from a game perspective, I wanted things to tie up neatly in a bow sometimes. Besides Karen calls, there were some funny ones, like 2 people experimenting with a light bulb.
Oh, God.
Oh, my.
Or an old lady who couldn't figure out how to use her cell phone. We told her to turn it off and on again. That's going to be us
in like 20 years.
I know, right? There was some guy dead from a stake in the heart. It turns out it was a crossbow bolt, and there's a serial killer on the loose.
Oh, jeez.
Woot!
Yeah. There were some hard calls to listen to. There was a gas leak, and I had to try and convince one guy to leave the building instead of trying to play hero. I couldn't stop him, and the building exploded with him on the phone. Another one, I managed to convince him to leave his car on the railroad tracks, but the train derailed from the crash and a whole lot of people got injured. I had at least 2 suicide calls where I had to listen to someone die, and those were not easy.
Jesus, this isn't super graphic, is it?
It is not.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. And I've never worked dispatch for an emergency call center, but I know a lot about them from my time working for a big city park service and my mom's involvement with the GIS side of 911. GIS is the mapping side. She worked for years for 911 in a major city in Florida. I actually one week got to get the alphanumeric pager for the fire department, and so I got to see all the ticker of like the calls coming in and like some of the really dumb accidents that people had. Shared them with my park ranger because we also, dealt with our own side of things as park rangers. But, there was some really cool stuff going on with this game. Like, I personally would have to take this game in small chunks rather than sit and mainline it because I think the empathy I feel for the digital people in distress. And, like, this stuff takes its toll, and I don't think I could do that job in real life. That said, after I got the hang of the game, I kept finding myself going back for another shift because I wanted to see what happened next. Aside from some frustrations with the magnetism of the interface, like, it was really well designed and easy to get into the hang of switching buttons after a couple of shifts. And there was just enough variety between calls and dispatching units on the map to keep you hooked. lots of content for the price, and I had a surprisingly good time with it.
Oh, well, it clocks in at $24.99. What are your thoughts at?
I think you're getting a ton of content for that price. As long as you're aware going in that they did go a little realistic with some of these calls, I'd say buy it. I had a really good time with it.
Very cool. All right, moving on. Next game is Date Alive, Ren Dystopia, developed by Idea Factory, Compile Heart, and Sting, published by Idea Factory International, released September 5th on Steam for $39.99. Play as Shido and unravel the secrets of the mysterious spirit Ren in the visual novel follow-up to Date Alive Rio Reincarnation, based on the acclaimed light novel and anime series. Aki, what is going on in Date Alive, Ren Dystopia?
Okay, so in this, you play as a young man, and in this series, there are superpowered beings that are referred to as spirits. They're from another dimension, and they come here to pack a wallop and damage a whole bunch of shit, because I don't remember why, actually. That would have been dealt with in the prior game or games, and in the first season of the anime that came out forever ago, and I don't remember it. And you have the power to seal all of their powers. And to do that, you have to make them fall in love with you. Woohoo! That has been the premise of basically all of the games, as well as the prior, or all the anime and the prior games. And in this one, you are not going through the dating aspects as much, which kind of shocked me a little bit. Instead, you're trying to interact with your specific girl that you're choosing a route for. Because there's like almost a dozen different girls in this, and each one has their own specific route. But it's become more of a visual novel than a dating sim for this game. So instead of trying to get the girls to keep loving you or whatnot, you're instead trying to help them solve an issue in one way or another to hopefully get to a good end for them. The premise of this game is there is a new spirit that no one knows of, and she is able to grant wishes. And she's like a djinn. She is a cruel, cruel little bastard. She purposely takes and twists all the wishes to screw people over. So basically, each route is one of the girls falling basically for her ploys, and you trying to help smooth things out so you can get a good end or a bad end, if that's really what you desire, at the end. There's sadly not a whole bunch of choices for this. There are, I think, like 4 or 5 typically per each individual, but there's a lot to read. So this is just barely an adventure visual novel, just barely. I think the first route I took, I obviously got the good and bad end for it and skipped through all the stuff that I had already read. A lot of the choices only do an immediate impact of a handful of scenes, and then it can change to the very end from either being a good end or a bad end. But other than that, most of what you've read. And it's the same between both. So you're able to skip through those real quickly, which is nice. And I think the first route still took me around 7-ish hours. And as I said, there's around a dozen different routes. So have your fun, yo. Sadly, I can't say a lot about the story because
Spoilers.
it took me about 7 hours to get through the plot for one girl. All the plots are kind of the same. The wishes may be different, but the premise is still basically the same between them. They're still getting screwed over, and you're still trying to help solve that problem. So I'm not sure exactly how many people, other than like just serious fans of this anime and these games, are going to be particularly interested in playing through this whole game, because every route, yes, there's different wishes, but it all amounts to the same thing. Each girl gets 3 wishes, and they're all problematic. So that's kind of sad. And there's enough replay value that 2 routes per girl, so you have a bunch to replay.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of change between any of it, sadly, because it's either you get a good end or you get a bad end, and all the bad ends kind of result in the same thing happening, and all the good ends kind of result in the same thing happening. It's just different girl in place instead. So it's like, eh. Otherwise, it is nice. For most of you, if you're a even moderately fast reader, this game isn't going to take you as long as it did me, because I looked online and saw there was a guide for this, and the 7 hours that it took me took them like 2-ish. So I was sad. I didn't realize my reading speed was that bad. So yeah, you're looking at around 20-ish hours or so for the average person. For me, this is going to be like a 60 or 70 hour game probably. And yeah, it's not bad, but a lot of everything that's done is very repetitive. The prologue is the same, obviously. Every time you start it up to get to a new route, the prologue is the exact same thing, so you're skipping through it instantaneously. But once you pick one of the girls, which is going to be the very first choice basically you make is to choose one of the girls, then it changes to be her specific line. But when you replay it to go the other route, like 90-something% of that is going to just be reused. It's going to be just immediately after switching up a choice, the immediate part right there is changed, but then it immediately goes back to just the same stuff all over again. Which is sad. I would have preferred if more of it had been changed, just so getting both endings would be very different, but it is what it is. And yeah, that I don't have a lot to say about this one, because again, every route's very short.
Well, it's a game that clocks in at $39.99 on Steam. What are your thoughts?
I would say if you're a big fan of the series, this is totally for you. It doesn't matter what this is priced, you're going to buy it anyways. For everyone else, I would suggest buy the prior games. But it isn't a bad game. I would get this on a sale, like a 50% off sale, because again, there's not a lot of change between any of the girls you choose. The ending results the same, just with insert girl here. So I would say wait for a sale for this one, but I still think it's worth playing. It's a fun game.
Cool. If people are interested in a sale until the 12th, you could get it for 15% off, down to $33.99. So if you were interested, there you be. All right, moving on. Next game is Purrfect Rescue, developed by Grey Boss, published by Silesia Games, released August 28th on Xbox One, Series X and S, for the jaw-dropping massive price of $2.99. 5 different sceneries, 100 kittens to rescue in each, and only one person to take care of it all. That person is you. Keep your eyes open for ears, tails, and noses. Kittens are small, and there's a lot of them around. Bree, what is Purrfect Rescue?
So, hidden cat games are like one of my favorite things to relax to. This game has 5 scenes to explore, each with 100 kittens to find and rescue. You've got a beach, you've got downtown, you've got a park, a residential area, and an amusement park. In addition to the kittens, there's 5 special cats to find, each with a unique item.
Unique.
That you'll find in the level that will help you rescue the cat. On the beach, you'll find a mama cat, and she has a story in the cattiary instead of the bestiary. But to rescue her, you'll need the cat pheromones from the downtown level. And on the beach level, you can find cat-proof gloves that you'll need to match to a special cat in another level, which I thought was a nice extra layer to the game. The cats can be tricky to find. They change colors to match the area they're in. Sometimes you'll only get a small portion of a kitten, like the head or the butt. Sometimes it's hard to tell the difference between a cat and a squiggle. And when you find them and click on them with your cursor, they purr and meow, and some little hearts pop up. And then the kitten is removed from the scene so you can focus on new areas. And if you get stuck and you want to move on, you can come back to the level later and your progress will be saved, which is nice. And also with that mechanic where you have to find the special item for the special cat in different levels, that was helpful too. The art is cute and colorful. It's a simple line art style. There's static scenes. There's no moving parts or cats hidden in things that open. The music
That's good.
the music was pleasant and relaxing. It has a good zoom function, which I totally didn't realize until I had gone through an entire level. There is a refillable hint button that if you get stuck, you have no penalty for using.
Yay!
So if you're just like, I've got these 5 cats and I can't find them and I'm done, you just have to wait for the timer to refill.
And no achievement penalties?
No achievement penalties.
Sweet.
It is a very relaxing game. You get achievements for finding all the cats in a level and 1 achievement for finding each of the special cats, and that's the whole list. It's like 10 achievements, easy peasy, really relaxing. I like that the narrative for the game was promoting rescue and adoption of cats, responsible pet ownership, I couldn't say the word responsible, and proper medical care for pets like spay and neuter. I like continuing to hear those messages out there. That makes me very happy. It wasn't overwhelming or, heavy-handed. It was just there and part of the game, and I liked that. I feel like I struggled to find some of the cats in this one because I was less familiar with the art style. I enjoyed it a lot. It was great to have a new art style to enjoy. But overall, I had a great time with it.
No, we talked about it before. It's a wallet breaker at $3. What should people do about this one?
I think they should just buy it.
That makes sense because I bought it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every game that Silesia puts out that has hidden cats in it, I buy it the second it's on the store.
I mean, if I wasn't already getting them to review, I would be doing the same thing. So yeah. I love them, and I will with a launch discount of a couple cents off, and you can't beat those prices. So yeah.
At all. All right, moving on. Next game is Alpacapaca Dash, developed and published by Synnergy Circle Games. Released September 4th on Xbox Series X and S, Windows 10 for $4.99 each. Alpacapaca Dash is a 2D run-and-shoot game with lasers and alpacas, a fun, cute, and addictive game. Try to get the highest score, the highest amount of coins, unlock all the alpacas, and play until you can save the goddess and fully restore the alpaca world. Jacob, what is Alpacapaca Dash?
So Alpacapaca Dash is this fun little 2D runner game, essentially, where you're playing this alpaca that can shoot lasers out of your eyes, and you're pretty much purifying the land because it's become this dark, like gloopy, nasty place, and I guess eventually you just free the alpaca goddess princess thing, which is really just survive the game for like 3 minutes. And thankfully there's an easy mode in this game, so if you do easy mode, it'll auto aim for you. And you just run through the level, collect power-ups or ones that will take away all your power-ups. And you just, fire off your eye lasers and, try to collect coins so you can unlock different alpacas and their costumes. Like there's one with a witch's hat, there's one with a bagel in its mouth. At least I thought it was a bagel. In retrospect, maybe it was a fancy mustache. I'm not sure. Yeah. But there's like a ton of different outfits that you can get, and you can also get upgrades. So then you'll collect coins, or you'll be more lucky, and like better power-ups will be there more frequently. Yeah, like it's fun. It's frustrating as hell. I'm not going to lie. Like you have to get really used to the game's rhythm and knowing when to jump, because it is all too damn easy to jump at what you would think would be a normal jump point
and come up short.
only to fall into the pits.
There's a couple that you got to jump really late on. It's tough to figure out which ones those are.
You pretty much have to you just have to be almost like ready to fall into the pit and then hit jump then, and then you'll make it. So timing is really, odd with it, but I don't know. Like, it's fun. It's all right. Like,
I thought it was cute and it was fun, and it's a cheap game with easy achievements. I thought it was.
Yeah, it's not going to set the world on fire. It's not the best game I've ever played, but it's also not the worst.
I thought it was a fun diversion for $5. The game is $5 on Xbox. It's $5 on Windows, or you could get a bundle of both of them for $7.99. What are your thoughts on all of that?
I would just get that bundle because then that's stackable achievements. It's all right. It's fun. For $5, it's worth it.
Cool. All right, moving on. Next up is Infinite Seek and Find, developed and published by Error 300, released back in May on the Switch for $7.63. Weird price. Welcome to your ultimate hidden object challenge. Infinite Seek and Find offers a wide selection of image sets and customizable difficulty level, from basic level where only the size matters to the most hardcore challenge where the colors can trick you. Bree, tell us about your time with Infinite Seek and Find.
This game is exactly what the title advertises. It's a procedurally generated infinite seek and find game, and I'll explain what that means in a second. First thing I did, check the settings, and was happy to see a stage background slider for the equivalent of a dark mode.
Yay!
You can also adjust the sensitivity of your mouse, center your controller. You start out with easy and medium difficulties unlocked, and you get more after you find some stuff. There are custom difficulty settings as well, and by stuff, I mean all kinds of objects from butterflies and flowers to common household objects and origami animals. There's 10 sets of 10 image sets or something like that with tons of stuff in them. And there's a bunch of objects in varying sizes and colors. The game is governed by a set of rules for each difficulty. At any time, if you forget the rules, you can press the RB button, or there are icons on the top left of the screen that serve as quick reminders once you played a little and you know what those mean. You get a bar on the left with pictures of 5 things to find at a time, but you might need to find 10 to 20 items to pass the level. For easy, an example of the rules might be that objects could be rotated differently, or objects could be different colors. Pretty simple. Usually there's one rule, and then the number to beat the level is 15 matches. And that you have to find 2 matching objects in the scene. You have to find a match pair in the playfield, so there might be a butterfly on the left bar that you have to find in the main screen. And you'll have to find 2 of them that match on the screen. And then it marks it off your list, and then you'll get another one that will populate until you run out of things that you need to find for the level to complete. But because this is randomized, sometimes matching objects were right on top of each other. So that was a little challenging sometimes. It looked like, it was just layered on top of each other. On medium, objects might be rotated the same way as a rule. Objects could be different sizes and colors from each other. And you might have a time limit, but you only might have to find 10 items to finish the level. And you might have more than one base rule. So you might have 2 things going on, different sizes and colors, and things needed to be rotated the same way as your 2 rules, and then you have to find your matched pair. It's really easier than I'm making it sound. When I unlocked hard mode, one of the first rules was that the only area close to the cursor is shown, a flashlight mode. So the longer you play the game, the more rules you unlock and make the game challenge feel fresh and new each time you go back. The screen is a jumble of colorful objects to seek and find. The music is spirited and fun, but I'd probably play without it. It had a decent variety on a long loop, although I feel like I recognize one of the songs, and this just happens with indie games. I've heard that song before. That's some, copyright-free kind of whatever tune. I like the concept of this game as something I could come back and play, and it'll always be a little different. Something I can play for a short time between other things, or just to unwind. There was no real concern about progression. You're just I'm going to go into easy mode. I'm going to find a bunch of cool things, and then I can go do something else. So yeah.
Sounds easy enough. It's $8. What do you think?
I would say buy it.
All right, and if you buy it in the next week until the 12th, it's $3.81. So $4. How's that sound?
That's even better.
Awesome. All right. Well, next up is an email review for Billy's Game Show, developed by CH757 and Sometimes You, published by Sometimes You, released September 4th on Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, PS4, PS5 for $9.99 each. Billy's Game Show is a stealth horror game. Play against an AI that watches your moves through security cameras. Your goal is to find the 3 hidden heads and escape the horror of the show. You hear the word horror and you think horror Acolyte, and that's who wrote in the email. And our good friend George is going to read it for us. So, George, take it away.
Thanks, Joe! And now, a review of Billy's Game Show. Welcome to Billy's Game Show, a stealth horror game starring Billy and yourself, the newest contestant on his demented futuristic game show set sometime past the year 2050. You wake up in an unknown facility and are immediately greeted by Billy, who appears before you on a large monitor that manifests itself from under the floor. He explains the general rules of his show, that you must find 3 heads scattered throughout the building, one of which he himself is carrying. If you find them all, you win and he loses, but he will get you from time to time. To begin the main event, you just need to start 3 generators in the adjoining room. Once Billy's speech is over, you can move freely inside the current area, which reaches 3 stories high and acts as a central hub. This area appears to be a temporary residence for the lucky contestants, containing mostly just basic furniture, some Billy's Game Show branded boxes, and a radio that plays cassettes. Situated on the table beside you is an odd-looking lighter that has a rotating head housed in the transparent center. I'm not even sure why this lighter is there for you to pick up. Although the game is a bit dark, I rarely felt it was dark enough to warrant using the lighter. Also in this main room is a giant sealed door with 3 circular hollowed-out sections, the perfect size for severed heads. To start the show, you move over to the next room to find 3 generators to power on. Once turned on, each will display a progress bar on the front of it that represents how much time is left before maintenance needs to be done on the generator, which just consists of interacting with a switch on the device until the progress bar is replenished. These generators control the electricity, water, and air for the facility. If their progress bars are allowed to reach 0, hazards will erupt in the form of electrical traps activating on various walls, water slowly flooding the facility, or poisonous gas being released. To prevent these from occurring, you will need to make regular trips back to the central hub for generator upkeep. Fortunately, there are 2 built-in warning systems to keep you informed. When a progress bar reaches the halfway mark, a caution symbol will appear above it that can be seen from anywhere on the map. And if the bar happens to reach close to 10%, an alarm will trigger and flash a red caution symbol across the screen, meaning you need to make haste or suffer the consequences. To help you make a swift return, your character has the ability to run, which costs stamina. Luckily, your run speed is rather quick and stamina regenerates fairly rapidly. Even better, in some areas, there is a ringing telephone box that will teleport you back to the central hub. Once the generators are activated, you now have access to an elevator in the central area. This will take you to the 2nd and 3rd floor, which each contain a set of 3 sliding metal shutters numbered 1 through 3 and 4 through 6, respectively. The majority of the game is spent searching these areas for the 3 heads you need to win the game or find tools, such as a hammer or crowbar, to unlock doors or remove barriers. When you get close to an important object, you will see a glimmering marker in the environment that shows you its location, even through walls. Some areas have a couple of themed rooms, like an abandoned birthday party or grocery store, but most sections are just a series of corridors with random rooms all covered in predominantly muted colors. You will also encounter traps in some sections like spike pits, moving saws, and rotating wooden columns with spikes. Getting hit by any of these hazards will remove 1 of 3 health points, death causing you to respawn in the central hub. You will need to be somewhat cautious, as dying 7 times will force you to restart the game. A few things are done to try and enhance the creepiness of the game show. Random blood splatter throughout the facility, large razor blades sticking out of the floor, mystical music playing in the background, the occasional jump scare, security cameras everywhere to remind you of your constant observation, and lastly, Billy himself. Billy can be found patrolling the hallways of his deadly game show. At certain points, the lighting will get darker, the music will grow silent. Billy is near, and he is upset. Frantic chase music ensues as Billy runs after you, glowing white eyes, blood-stained lips, sporting purple crown-like attire. If he catches up to you, then you will be greeted by a whack of his mallet or worse, grappled by him to see his mouth open wide and a loud gulching sound signaling your demise. In order to escape Billy's clutches, you can try to leave through the shutter entrance if you are near it. Be warned, the shutters for the area will begin to close while Billy is in pursuit and will remain closed until he gives up his chase. Otherwise, you will need to find the singular object in the area that will allow you to hide inside, like a locker or trunk, unless a phone booth is also available to use. Nothing in the environment significantly complements the horror atmospherics of the game. Billy himself is kinda creepy, but will most likely only bring people unease when he abruptly appears from around a corner. The generator maintenance mechanic doesn't really add much pressure and mostly just increases the total runtime, which is short, around 30 minutes to 1 hour for most. There isn't much of a story to be found. You will come across a couple of notes and cassettes that add some insight into Billy and previous contestants on his show, but nothing of great value. The game has easy achievements. If you care about those, it may be worthwhile. Otherwise, I would only place it as a try it at best, for younger audiences or those really susceptible to being frightened. And now, speaking of things going dark, it is time to go after dark. Cue the music. SML After Dark.
That's right. Our final game tonight is SML After Dark Chasing Sunsets, developed and published by Stone Fox Studios, released August 18th on Steam for $14.99. When your mother remarries, her new husband's fiery daughter enters your life. After forming an initial strong connection, misunderstanding pushes you apart. Years later, reunited by tragedy and conspiracy, the two of you must choose a path to follow. Will you be rivals, friends, or lovers? Aki, tell us about it.
You get to go bow chicka wow wow. Okay, this game starts off with your character, self-named, entering a bar, and he proceeds to tell the bartender, which is a family friend apparently, about what's been happening in his life for the past few years. And then it immediately boots back all the way to when he was like 8 years old, because, you know, he's 20-something, so what's happened in the past few years is apparently he was 8. I don't know. And it starts with the prologue, which tells us how his mom and his stepfather got together. And I shit you not, this is probably one of the best openings of any game I've ever played in the entirety of my life. It was amazing. And it just continued from there. Very quickly shot forward to, you know, them growing up and in their, you know, single digit years to when they were teenagers in high school. And then they split up from that point, sadly. And it showed what happened in his life since then. And then the game starts proper at chapter 1. It took me like 5 hours to get through just the prologue. It was amazing. It turns out that your folks were, how do I say this? They were super fucking rich, like ridiculously rich. And you've been living off of, you know, a trust fund for this whole time, but they were like worth billions with a capital fucking B. And sadly, some bad shit has happened and they're no longer with you. So now you have to go back and you have to deal with your stepsister, who you haven't seen for 5 years at that point. After you had just snuck out of the house one night and left. Not telling anybody a fucking thing. You just fucked right off. So, you know, she's not happy would be calling it an understatement. Especially since y'all were really close for a very long time. So you go back home from halfway across the world, and now you and her are dealing with your parents' last will and all of their obscene amount of assets that you have to go through. And it is all about how you deal with her You can be friendly towards her, try to repair your relationship, or you can be an antagonistic little shit to her and just further ruin your already pretty piss poor relationship. And there's a lot of choices throughout this because there comes another hitch to this. Another girl shows up and wanting to interview you because, again, you're the son of filthy rich people who own, an entire company that's a biomedical company that does all sorts of crazy research. So, yeah. So now you have to deal with this woman who won't leave you alone, and your stepsister, and all the legal issues that are now coming forward because another company wants to ruin your company. Woo! So yeah, this game is really all over the place. It has some really happy moments that, you're kind of cheering for. And then it'll have heartbreaking moments where I've literally cried while playing this game like 4 or 5 times now. So yeah, it's really well written. Probably one of the best written games, not just out of smut games, but all games I've played. I was really surprised with this one because it really deals with some hard-hitting stuff. However, because it is a pornographic game, be prepared for things like incest because that's just what these games have.
Wait, I thought she was your stepsister.
It's still incest. It doesn't matter.
Pornhub says otherwise.
God damn it.
I approve. That was good addition. Thank you, Jacob. This is a fairly sizable game. I have to actually check how long I've put into this. Where is it? There it is. I've put almost 13 hours into this game, and I'm about halfway through. Maybe a little past halfway through the game so far. There are a bunch of achievements to this. If you care about that, there's
192. Holy shit.
Yeah,
that's a lot of fucking achievements.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fucking.
Yes, it is. There is so much. There's 4 or 5 different endings to this game. So you are going to be playing through the entirety of this game multiple times because there's a route where you're going after Jay, your stepsister, one where you're going after Mallory, which is the reporter, one where you get both of them, one where you get neither of them, one where you lose your company, and I think yet another one even. So you're playing through the entirety of this game multiple times. And those aren't the only people you get to have sex with, if that matters to you. There's like half a dozen other girls at least that you can choose to have flings with or not. And no one seems to give a shit. So, go for it, you horn dogs. It's really fun to get to know the other characters as well, because it's not just focusing on just Mallory and Jay. It also actually actively focuses on the secondary background girls that you can, get with, as well as other guy characters that are friends to you. They don't leave them as just pure background. Oh, they're hot, go bang them this day. No, they actually have their own personalities, and they will talk with you. Like, one of the characters shits on you the very first time you try to talk to her.
Wait, it's a porn game. Are we talking literal?
No.
Okay. Thank God.
Not literal. Metaphorical.
Thank God.
If it was literal...
Was that a crunch?
No, that was me gagging.
I thought someone crunched a chip.
That's what it sounded like to me, too.
Yeah, if it was literal, I would have just immediately messaged you and said, we're not reviewing this. I don't care. I would have said no.
Oh,
I would have
Lord.
turned it off right then. But yeah, this one has more emotion in it than I think I've seen in basically any game I've ever played. And it's a smut game of all damn things. I did not expect this to be this well written at all. I expect them to be okay and decently well written, but holy shit, this thing is amazing. Yeah, I don't want to ruin the story, so.
Well, it clocks in at $15. What are your thoughts on Chasing Sunsets?
100%. Of all the games that I've ever said, yes, go get the smut game, put this one before all of them. You have no idea. Anyways.
Oh, all right. That is it for this episode. We made it through another one. Thanks to all you for being here, hanging out this whole time. Thanks to Andy for coming on, doing his thing. Music this episode. Linkin Park just put out a brand new song called The Emptiness Machine. So I'm going to play the OneUps Space Warrior Sound Machine.
All right.
Yeah, I did the machine, and now we're doing the machine. Yeah.
Yeah, you made me sad because I was expecting Linkin Park because I didn't even know
I can't
were still
play
together.
that on the fucking show.
Why not?
Because we're a video game podcast, and I don't want to get a copyright strike.
Fine. God.
I mean, we have post-show music that you could enjoy that on, but, you know.
Okay, post-show music. I want the entire album.
There is no entire album yet.
Oh.
There's a song.
Just a single.
That's it?
Yeah, full album's out in November.
Yeah.
November can't come soon enough. Okay, at least
there's a female singer now.
Can I just say, like, I was watching some of the live stream that they were doing earlier, and man, did they look happy that they were playing. They looked happy with their choice of new singer. Like, they looked
I think it's going to take a while for her to grow on everyone, but it's a positive beginning. I'm happy with the start. I'm happy with the single. I'm excited to see where it goes. But for now, it's the end of the show. So,
Bree, is there a VOD for what you were talking about you saw?
Yes.
That's
Can you link that to me, please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool. Does anyone have any final words to end the show? Bree, you always have good final words. Give us something.
I've got one.
All right.
All right. No one comes from the future to stop you from doing it. How bad a decision can it really be?
I mean, it could be pretty bad.
I think we should all kick Jacob in the nuts next time we see him.
Oh, that's fair.